Friday morning, everyone. I hope you're coming to the end of a very productive week, and I hope you're looking forward to a wonderful weekend. But most important, I hope that you're living your very best life in Jesus Christ. Well, on Monday I talked about listening, so with your permission, I'll continue on that thought for a little while, and today I'm going to talk about the importance of communicating clearly. Now, I've said many times that you would think in this modern time of mass media and the information barrage that we're continually exposed to, we would have mastered the basics of good communication, don't you think? But the truth is that we humans, being humans, still struggle to clearly communicate with each other, both on a personal level and, to be honest with you, in the media. As a teacher, I learned long ago that garbled communication means the death of learning. If a child, or an adult for that matter, cannot clearly understand what you're trying to express, then teaching and understanding grinds to a screeching halt. And worse than that, misunderstanding often damages your very ability to communicate further and leads to unnecessary conflicts, which frankly bar further communication. I'll give you an example. My dear wife of 43 years often says one thing when she means another. Now, all you married men, I know your wives aren't like that, so there's a caveat here. I don't think she does this intentionally, but often the manner in which she says something to me belies what she really wants to communicate. And the unfortunate part of this is that I understand it's not all that uncommon, as many men I've spoken to seem to run into this problem. Though, like I said, I'm sure your wife is different. See, the thing is, I often feel like I have to translate what she says to what she means. And this often causes discord, which impedes our ability to communicate further. I'll give you an example. Recently, she told me that I needed to get away from the computer for a day and do what I wanted for a change. Now, on the surface, this sounded great. It was like, well, hey, take a day off. Doesn't that sound like that to you? But no, that's not what she meant. What she meant was that she had a laundry list of things she wanted done, and I needed to stop working and do what she thought was important. And see, the thing is, after all these years, I foolishly took her at her word and started the day working on a project I had been wanting to get done for some time. When she came in, and her very demeanor and affect told me Mama wasn't happy. A bit of intense fellowship followed until I finally got the true message. It was, stop what you're doing and do what I want. So I did. I'm not stupid. The point is that clear communication principles are lacking in most folks, and it's very fortunate that the Bible gives us clear examples of the proper way to communicate with each other. What we say and how we listen to others is important to God. He warns us in Proverbs 18:21 that death and life are in the power of the tongue, and in Matthew 12:36 that we must give account for every idle word we speak. And of course, our dear brother James outlines 3 basic keys to good communications in James 1:19, where he tells us, "So then, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath." All right, so let's take a moment and examine these keys. It's natural to think we know what other people want or need before they finish asking. And so we generally assume that what we have to say is what the other person should really be interested in hearing. I mean, as I said on Monday, listening skills are rarely taught and generally neglected. But in Proverbs 18:13, it says, "He who answers a matter before he hears it is folly and shame to him." It's vitally important that we truly learn to listen to each other. And sometimes that means taking the time to listen to what is not being said as well. This requires time and patience, but if we truly want to communicate and understand, we need to take that time. Secondly, we need to be slow to reply. We all want to and are taught to express ourselves, but when our desire for self-expression keeps us from trying to really understand what the other person is saying, we are being, frankly, foolish and selfish. Proverbs 18:2 tells us, "A fool has no delight in understanding, but in expressing his own heart." Wow, how much clearer can that be? So we must be very careful to think before we speak and to choose our words wisely. Whatever we say should be edifying, uplifting, and intended to reflect the nature of Christ and to glorify God. And then finally, we need to be aware of our tone as well as our words. A harsh tone, either intentionally or unintentionally, will hamper the ability to communicate. My mother used a quote, and it was always Proverbs 15:1 and 2, which says, "A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." We should always be aware of our tone and our demeanor when we're listening and talking. When we speak softly, kindly, wisely, truthfully, and frankly filled with love, we can diffuse negative feelings and promote positive relationships, both inside and outside of our church. I'm sure I'll expand on this at some other time. I have talked about it several days, but for today, I challenge you to put these keys to use, to encourage, to be effective and truthful and loving and godly in all your communication as you go through your day. And remember that many a relationship has started with a well-chosen, kind word. Many a relationship has also unfortunately ended with a poorly chosen word, spoken in anger or haste. So with every word you say, you have that choice. So today, I urge you to choose wisely today. I hope you make today a fantastic day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope I see you in church on Sunday, and I truly love you all. Bye-bye.